We're going to be doing some more bags. One of the things is we have to make sure we know where the electrical outlets and stuff go. We're going to have for the kitchen and some of the areas on the wall where we're putting the refrigerator and so on, it's going to be 2x4 framing. So where we're putting the counters, we're going to be building and pouring our own cement countertops and playing with that. I'm looking forward to doing that. Everybody, yeah, whatever, get over it. We're going to be experimenting with that. So the support for that is going to be 2x4 construction, which means as we penetrate the earthbag walls, which are 16 inches thick, as we bring in the electrical from outside, we'll run it in through that 2x4 regular framing up to about waist high. So that will be traditional. But when we get up to the higher ones where we have the light switches and so on coming in through the masonry, we're going to need to have the cleats. Like this one here, we're going to be doing cleats inside the bedroom area over here. Now these are going to be hot glued down real quick so that when we bring in the lines, we can fish them through these openings and then come out and go through and whatever. This makes it a lot easier so the bags don't have to dig it out and stuff like that. We've had problems in the past and wish they did that. But so in the bedroom, we're going to be using these cleats to run the electrical wires around where it comes in from the utility room. Now we have on the outside in here and over there, we're going to have outside electrical outlets, and that will come through the utility wall through this 3/4 inch PVC. We'll be running Romex out to the outside. Now we can have conduit that comes on the inside and run it that way, but I want to try and run it around the outside and not have to worry about that and see if that works. I'm sure it will. Because when we do this, you fill these gaps, and the Romex will just have staples, these big U-nails that will go in and hold the Romex inside here. You also do that with the PEX water, red and blue hot and cold water lines. So that'll be embedded into the masonry that we're putting here. Now, we were going to put a cleat over here that was going to be inside the kitchen area, inside a little closet that we're going to have here going up to the bathroom entrance. But because we're going to be doing a wall here at a 2x4 construction, we'll just run the wire in and just do a traditional wall box for the outlet and light switches and so on in here, so I don't have to do that. Now, this wall is going to be 2x4 construction, and it'll go up at least 8-10 feet, whatever. We're going to, be a high wall. Now, we were thinking of doing a loft, and I may make it in such a way that we could add it later, but we're probably not going to do it this time because, more easy construction. I want to experiment with the dome and a little bit different things I want to do before we do the home build. So we probably won't be doing too much of a loft, but we will have some storage up there on top of that. We'll see how that goes. Now, the blue lines, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be bringing in the water. Will come in from the outside where we're having our pressure, the pressure tank and the water, and this is where we're going to build a little house kind of from the elements and so on for putting our batteries and inverters and so on outside, because I'm not really worried about it, but we did have a charge controller fire, and Don would rather have it outside, so we're going to do that. And I doubt it's going to make it through here. So we're going to go ahead and have the water come in the PEX lines, and then it'll go back in to hot water heater. It'll be in the corner here, and then it goes to the faucets and so on through the 2x4 walls. Now this is drain that's coming in, and you can see that we can hole drill through the 2x4 wall and everything and put the drains where we want. So this is going to be the drain from the kitchen sink. Then we have a stove top pot filler faucet that I want to have here, be for convenience. Then the water lines will run along the wall and go through this wall to have water to go to the refrigerator for the ice maker and whatever else we want to do with that. But we just need a little water line for the refrigerator. Now, this is the main thing, is the sink over here. and then it goes into the bathroom. So as we bring through the wall, we're going to do this at another level, and it'll come in through the 2x4 wall here, and we'll go to, we have the shower and so on that'll be here, and maybe a bath. I'm looking at, it's going to be a big shower, you know, or a bath. We'll see, you know, how much effort we're going to put into that. Because once we get the outside, the shell done, we do whatever we want with the inside and take time of whatever. Now, then we're going over to the, of course, we need the water for the toilet, and this is the toilet drain. Then we have the vanity will go here, and it might be pretty big. We're going to, you know, have some room. Then we need it for the washing machine. That'll be way over here. Now these drains, as the drain for the washing machine, we did everything in 2-inch. Now normally for sinks you have, you know, some 2-inch, you know, for the shower and the tub and maybe the washing machine, and then your sinks and vanity and so on will do 1.5 inch, and it kind of steps down into 2.5. Screw it, we're just going to do all 2-inch, and I don't have to worry about it. So then we'll have the venting on the ends here that will vent everything, so it'll drain well. And then it goes down, and you get like an 1/8 to 1/4 bubble. Now what that means is this drain, when you have the bubble, and there's an 1/8, it's about like that, and then 1/4 is about like that. So you need at least an 1/8 to 1/4 drop in this to be able to make sure you're getting it fully drained from the sink into here, and then it goes down into this one. This is the main drain for the sinks and so on. That would be here. This one is for the bath and shower. This is for the toilet. And then I have another one that is there that we're probably going to do the washer and dryer will come into here. So we have the drainage all to go into that goes to our septic system over there. So this is what we're doing now, and what we have as we do the electrical panel, it's probably going to go here inside a 2x4 framed wall. Now originally I had planned on putting it over here behind this door that would open going to the outside. My preference would be here, but mounting it inside the earthbag walls and everything, you could do it, but it'd just be an unnecessary thing, you know. So I'm thinking we'll just make it, you know, cosmetically cool and frame it and make it, you know, whatever, and put logos on it and whatever, and have the door here for the circuit breaker box. Now we only need to bring one line or 2 lines over here, one that goes to the outside outlets and one that goes into the bedroom outlets. Now because we had this framed in, like, you know, it was 1 inch by 4 inch PVC baseboard that we tried, and using the framing on doing the pour of the concrete here in this room, I really like that idea. That stuff that you can see, it's the thicker stuff over there, and it bends well and it removed well, but it left a groove here about 3/4 of an inch wide that we can run all our electrical down here. Now I can put some foam in the bottom, press it in there, foam it on top, have the 2x4s going inside here. I think that's what we're going to do. I want to try that, because the other option is you use little staples that go into the walls in these grooves, and you put all your Romex there. So we may do that, we may not, we may just run it through the wall and so on. But the lines that are coming in from the inverter over there, this is where our utilities will be. We have our water and the electrical coming in. It'll go down, it'll go around to the control box. Now the big thing is the drains. The drains need to go through the walls that are 2x4 just to make it easier, and we can get the right drainage and so on, and just make my life easier. So that's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be doing this next layer of earth bags, and we thought we would have a lot more work to do with a lot of the cleats that we'd have, the electrical and so on. But it doesn't really look like it. It looks like it's just going to be this one, because this is going to be a masonry wall. So we're going to have the electrical outlet that goes here with the cleat, and then the rest of them are going to be going in walls. Now when we get up you know, to light switch height, then we're going to need to be doing a lot more of that. So we have a lot of these available for that. So that's what we're doing today. You know, we can't really hyperlapse and show a lot of the stuff that we're doing because it's so hot. It's still over 100 degrees, and it's, you know, it's not 120. I mean, you know, it's been at least average 108, you know, all the summer. So the cameras and the phones and everything, they just go out. We had to put this camera in the freezer, you know, for a while just to get it to go this long. So it's we're going to get on this now, and we'll have another layer. And as we start adding in more of the utilities, more of the cleats for the door frames and so on, we will make sure you get the details. Peace.
Well, we're getting a little bit of rain. Not much, just enough to wet the ground a little. But we'll take it. This is cow tree.
Yeah, I had to go get the drone. I wanted to go see how the flow was down there. We cleared off this road and everything. So it makes it pretty level. It's only about a foot deep, and it's keeping it flowing pretty even instead of making a big giant rut. But damn, we get some monsoons. This is just a little rain. We get a big rain, we're going to be stuck back here. This is the way it's going to be. You know, this is the North Road, and I've done some drain, you know, control here, trying to do that. And this is what we call a cow tree, and this is the corner. We go down that way to go home, and then this. Whoa! All right, well, we got stuck there. Donna did the rest. She's got to hurry up before that rain over there comes over this mountain, and it'll come. That it just dropped in. I didn't even try and go. I knew that it was just going to get worse, so I got the straps out. Probably pull it out pretty quick, but we got to get to it because the weather be a coming. Told this was just a short rain here, but it's up in the mountains, and you get the flash flood thing going on, and it made a rut right there. I'm gonna be out here with the tractor when I get to it, clean all this stuff, but I have to wait till it stops raining. Yep. And then the road, this is the way that we go out, you know, the main primary way. Yep, it's still flowing. Yeah, all that drainage from that makes it to here, because this road, this wash trail, whatever was here, that's what it does. And it also comes down this one. end of this road is where we are. So, yeah, it looks like that's starting to go down. And it's going to come again. We could get stuck back here for weeks during a monsoon, which we were warned of. We kind of knew that. But, make sure you got enough food and water. And just in time.